A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. If you need a website or a domain, go to squarespace.com/James for 10% off your first purchase.
Morning everybody, how's it going? Hope you're all well. As you can probably tell, I'm ill, so that's a good bit of fun, but nothing was going to stop me coming out this morning because it's the last day of forecasted cold weather, and it is cold for the UK at least. It's minus 10 degrees this morning, or minus 9.5 in the car. I'm going to say minus 10 to people. Now I was driving down the Penmacno Valley and I spotted this scene, which I got a photo of from the road. And there was a bird flying under the bridge that I managed to capture. Not the right shutter speed because I wasn't expecting it, but I don't know what bird it was. If any of you know or can tell by this photo, please do let me know, but I don't know. And I thought that this scene will basically come alive when the sun pops over that hill, which I expect in the next few minutes. Aim of the game today is to stay on flat ground, basically. I don't think my lungs can take any uphill, as nice a day as it would be to get up into the high mountains. But yeah, it's not COVID, by the way. I've tested myself every day. It's not COVID, but just a heavy cold, I think. And I'm making the most of it. Right, let's get set for this photo. Ideally, a sheep will cross the bridge, but I just don't see it. Right, I've done something which, truth be told, I very rarely do, which is to put my 20mm lens on my stills camera. Really don't like shooting wider than 24mm, but I think this scene calls for it. And I'm hoping that those clouds up there don't interfere with the sun bursting through. As nice as they're making this reflection, I hope they allow the sun to, shine through. We'll see. Yeah, so just stick an ND on you. That's better. Right, come on, sun. Do your work. So there are undoubtedly a million ways to shoot this scene, but all of them, I think, will probably end up including the same stuff. So these reeds that have got loads of frost on them in the foreground, obviously the reflection of the bridge and the clouds, this tree sort of breaking over the horizon of the hills in the background, and then to the left of that tree is going to be the rising sun. That, I suspect, is what any composition that you could walk around trying to get would include. And from there, it's really just trying to finesse what's included and where. Not really my kind of photography, this. As I said, I don't really like to shoot with a wide-angle lens in places like this, but it's a nice spot, and I'm not traipsing up a mountain today, so this is what we've got. Did you know the colder it is, the longer it takes the sun to rise? That's certainly what it feels like. Oh, here we go. We're in. Got a nice sun star at f16. Lovely. And actually, I quite like that you get the reflection of the hill under the bridge. I think that looks quite smart. Actually, does it? Maybe I'd prefer it wasn't there, but it's quite a lot of work to remove that hill, either in Photoshop or in life. Talking nonsense. Yeah, pretty nice. Works well. Oh, there's a farmer feeding all his sheep. That's got to be a photo. Hiya.
You right?
Lovely morning.
Yeah. Yes. It's cold.
Just a bit. Minus 10 it said in the car. The standard bit of landscape photography, YouTube B-roll, walking over a bridge or through a gate, over a fence. Don't know why I bother. If you watch many landscape photography videos, how much of your life do you think you've spent watching people walk over things like that? Bridges. Too much. Right, I've got to decide where to go next. It's a beautiful day, or what non-photographers call a beautiful day. Muggles, I call them sometimes. Particularly at the moment, don't know why. I think it's because it's near Christmas. I watch a lot of Harry Potter around Christmas. But yeah, have you ever had that when you're out taking photos and there's not a cloud in the sky and it's really, really frustrating, and people walk past and say, "Morning, what a lovely day it is, isn't it?" And you think, shut up. That's not true. It's a bit true. But yeah, generally speaking, what constitutes a lovely day for people that don't take photos is quite different to what constitutes a lovely day for people who do. Certainly in nature. I mean, if you're taking photos in pretty cities, for example, then harsh light can be fantastic anywhere that you've got interesting shapes in the shadows, whereas shadows in nature tend to just be a complete mess. Although the silhouettes from the drone footage on the sheep look nice. I'll shut up about sheep now. Right, let's work out where else I can go. A bakery, maybe. Could do with some pastry. Right, well, pastry is going to have to wait because I've driven a little bit further down the valley and it's all very winter wonderland down here. So I'm going to take some more photos, I think. Not feeling too ill at the moment, so I'm going to stay out as long as I can. Ooh, that's nice. I kind of like this. I like the way these trees from either side frame the tree in the middle and the sun coming through it. And of course the lane. Love a lane, especially a lane split in half by grass or mud, or in this case sheet ice. Look at that. If anyone can stack it on this, I can, so I've got to be careful. And there's the famous bridge, which I've shot before, so I won't shoot it again today. Kind of not feeling shooting iconic things at the moment. I'm a bit bored of it. I know that I've got a zoom lens on, but I'm trying at the moment to shoot pretty much everything at around 40mm. I'll do a whole different video on why, but yeah, if you think some of the framing for these shots looks a bit odd, then that could be why. Could also just be that I'm a bad photographer. I shall come back to this in, I don't know, 10-15 minutes time, when hopefully there's a bit more sun on it. I kind of like this S-curve in the road, but I think it'll look better from up there shooting this way and having these telegraph wires on the right hand side against the blue sky, because they're covered in snow, and I think that looks quite cool. There's only one way to find out, I suppose. Yeah, I think I'm right. Although the telegraph wires are a bit lower than I anticipated against the hill. Although if I stand in the right place, I do get the moon between the wires, so that's quite nice. Is 40 too tight? No, 40's perfect actually, as is usually the case for me. Yeah, something like this is pretty nice. Oh, there's a house in the background over there. Once again, 40mm is pretty much perfect for what I want with this shot. By the way, I probably should say, if you're new to this channel, you might be wondering why I'm so obsessed with including man-made stuff in my photos. Basically, I just find that it really helps add a sense of story. Typically I look for one thing in my photos, which is I want them to make me curious. I want them to make me ask questions of the photo. I don't want to provide all the answers, and adding man-made stuff makes you wonder things about the people who built the things in the photos, who live in the things in the photos, who use the things in the photos. I find it really helps. So yeah, I love including man-made stuff in scenes of beautiful nature, just like this. Basically, What a nice bus route. Is this any better? Oh, there's kind of slightly more even light on the side of this building. I like that. Don't know if it adds or detracts though. I actually really like that. I love telegraph poles. That is a telegraph pole, isn't it? Or a power, I don't know what it is, but I find that they frame subjects really nicely, particularly against a bright sky. So yeah, big fan of that. Anyway, it's a couple of days later now and I'm feeling much better. So thank you for the concern that I imagine you must have been feeling. Much appreciated. A couple of products that featured in this video that you might be interested in. These are the new case filters. As you can see, they're color coded, which is fantastic. And in there, right in my filter thread, is what's called an inlaid ring, which basically sits really, really close to the front element, which means the filters can go close to the front element, which ultimately means I can now use filters that are exactly the same size as my lens thread, which is very cool because I don't get any vignetting anymore. Excellent improvement. So yes, that's the new case filters, link in my description. And also something else I was going to show you. So these are my new Valorette photography gloves. I've had a pair of these before. These are the V3 ones. Again, link in my description. And they're fantastically warm and allow you access to your fingers and thumbs for camera operation. There are magnets on the back here to lock away the finger and thumb. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job of demonstrating that. There's also a pocket here for, I don't know, SD cards, hot shoe covers, that sort of thing. So yes, these are fantastic. Best photography gloves I've ever used. Work in -10, -9.5. So yeah, link in the description to those as well, in case you're interested. And a big thank you to the sponsor of this week's video, Squarespace. So if you are looking for somewhere to showcase your work online, I wouldn't look any further than Squarespace. I've used it for years and I use it mainly as a portfolio, but also for my online store. I absolutely love it. You don't need any technical knowledge to use it, and Squarespace makes sure that no matter the device that someone is using to look at your work, your images will look as you want them to, which obviously is not always the case on things like social media. So if you're really proud of your work and you want to show it, I think Squarespace is the best solution online to do so. And you can check it out with all its features for free by going to squarespace.com. And after that, if you'd like to make a purchase, just go to squarespace.com/James and you'll get 10% off of your first purchase. So a big thank you to them for the support of this channel and for making fantastic products. And maybe that image with the telegraph thing will be appearing on my website. Yeah, I really like it. Anyway, I shall see you next week when hopefully I'm back to 100% fitness. I'm not sure I could ever call myself 100% fit, but maybe that's a resolution. Maybe 90%. See you soon.